Hello and welcome to our information session about the Professional Master of Laws specializing in international business law. Today's session is going to cover a number of important topics, including an overview of the program, the degree requirements, what to expect as a student in the program structure and tuition, how to apply, as well as some information on how to get in touch with us if you have questions after watching today's session. The Professional LLM in International Business Law is a program we've had for well over a decade at OsgoodePD, and it offers you an in-depth examination of both Canadian business law as well as international and comparative private law concepts. The popular courses include things about regulation, such as anti-money laundering, international trade, as well as some core business law areas, such as negotiating international business transactions, and so on. The degree requirements for this program require that you complete 36 credits, and you can do this program as either a full-time student or a part-time student. Full-time students usually will take 2 to 4 courses per term and would be studying in person. Part-time students would typically take 1 or 2 courses a term and would have the option of taking their courses either in person or online. This program also requires that you complete a research and writing assignment, and you have a number of options there. You can complete a 30-page significant research paper within one of your international business law courses, or you can do an independent significant research paper or a 70-page major research paper, and that option is up to you as a student. In terms of completion time, the 1-year full-time program usually is completed on a continuous basis. So if you were to come in the fall, you would finish the following summer. If you come in winter, you would finish in the fall. Part-time study requires 2 years, and many of our part-time students will take breaks. But if you were completing on a continuous basis, you would study through those 2 years period. In terms of the courses in the program, there is a required course in your first term of study, and it's called Comparative Legal Studies in International Business. If you were coming in as a part-time student, you would take only that course in your first term, whereas full-time students would also have access to international business law electives. In addition to the required course, you have to take at least 18 more credits of international business law courses. And some of our popular options include international commercial arbitration, in-house counsel, international sales, business and human rights, as well as some transactions courses. You'll then have up to 12 credits that you can use for outside electives. Many students choose to take all of their credits from international business law. Some outside elective options, though, would allow you to specialize in other areas of business law, such as securities or intellectual property. Many of our students are also going through the accreditation process to practice law in Canada. And if you are an NCA candidate, you may want to use those outside electives to take courses from our Canadian common law specialization. We get lots of questions from people who are trying to decide whether to be a full-time or a part-time student. And there are a couple of really core differences. Part-time studies will give you lots of flexibility and meshes quite well with full-time work. As I mentioned, part-time students typically will take 1 or 2 courses per term, and so that's fairly straightforward to balance with a full-time job. If you're planning to take time away from work, then you may want to consider full-time study. Full-time study does require that you take your courses in person, so we would expect that you're here in the Toronto area attending your classes. If you're part-time, you can choose to take your courses in person or online. That's completely your choice and up to your decision-making in terms of convenience and location. I mentioned course load, so again, full-time study, most students will complete within 1 year. With part-time study, students will usually take 2 years to complete and sometimes will take breaks in the program if they need to do so. At this point, I'm going to pass you over to my colleague, Christine Briggs, who's going to cover the rest of our session.
Full-time students in the program take 12 credits, 2 to 4 courses per term, and part-time students take 6 credits, 1 to 2 courses per term. When we're talking about course schedules, it's important to remember that this program has both a full-time and a part-time option, which means that each term we offer a large number of courses in different formats and times to accommodate part-time students who typically opt to take classes on evenings or weekends, and full-time students who typically opt to take classes during the day. You can expect to see a mix of weekly evening classes, weekly daytime classes, and intensive courses. Intensive courses run in a condensed format, often as 4 to 5 day intensives for the full day, 9 to 5. You will also see 3 different course formats. Courses which require in-person attendance. These courses are scheduled both at our downtown campus at 1 Dundas West in Toronto and at York's main campus at 4700 Keele Street in North York. Hybrid courses, which have the option to attend either online or in person, and online-only courses, which take place over Zoom and have no option for in-person attendance. Full-time students are expected to take the majority of their courses in person each term and must take a minimum of 1 in-person course each term. Permission for an occasional online course may be granted. A part-time student could complete their degree by taking exclusively online or hybrid courses should they choose to do so. No matter the format or schedule of your course, you can expect to receive materials about 4 weeks in advance of the start date. Each course has a course website on our learning management system, eClass. Your course's eClass page will contain the course syllabus and information about required readings, assignments, and due dates for the course. Some courses have required textbooks, which you'll need to purchase, but many courses have all required readings available on eClass. You can expect a variety of methods of evaluation during the program, including group and individual presentations, short assignments, and participation grades. All courses have a major assessment, an assessment that's worth 51% or more of the grade. Major assessments are typically research papers or take-home exams. Research papers vary in length by course, typically 10 to 15 pages. Research papers should either be on a topic explored in the course with a more in-depth analysis or on a topic that is a general extension of the course material. Generally, research papers are due about 1 month after the course ends. Take-home exams are open book examinations, which typically include a set of questions where students are given a specified amount of time to complete outside of the classroom setting, typically 2 to 4 weeks. These questions can take a variety of formats, but typically include fact pattern style analytic questions as well as essay style questions. There are no invigilated exams in the international business law courses. However, if you opt to take an elective course from the LLM and Canadian Common Law, you will encounter invigilated exams. As a York University student, you have access to the Writing Center, student accessibility services, and other academic resources. We take an individualized approach to academic support. Students have access to academic counseling to get advice on achieving academic success and to help troubleshoot any difficulties you may be experiencing. Individualized support goes beyond the academic as well. Students have access to confidential mental health counseling, and we offer one-on-one career support, including resume review, mock interviews, career, and job search coaching. Our program operates on a 3-term system. The fall term runs September to December, the winter term runs January to April, and the summer term runs May to August. Full-time students complete the program over 1 year, or 3 terms. Part-time students complete the program over 2 years, or 6 terms. You'll register for courses on a term-by-term basis with the help of your program assistant. Program assistants are dedicated members of OsgoodePD's team who assist you with your program and administrative issues from the time of your orientation to the time of your convocation. Your program assistants are your go-to for all questions during the program. Registering in a term will trigger fees to be posted to your student account. Your tuition for the program is charged in installments, 1 per term over the 3 terms for full-time students or 6 terms for part-time students. We've omitted tuition rates from this recording to keep it current. For up-to-date tuition information, please see our website. Our programs are OSAP eligible, and students in the program with financial need can also apply for bursaries. This program has 2 start dates, which means that new students can choose to start either in the fall or in the winter. Applications for the fall open annually on October 1st. Applications for the winter open annually on February 1st. We strongly encourage applicants to apply as early in the cycle as they are able to, as we review files on an ongoing basis and attempt to make early offers as often as possible. If you're an international applicant, we have a recommended deadline, which corresponds to our international awards deadline, January 15th for applicants to the fall term and April 15th for applicants to the winter term. The final deadline to apply is May 1st for the fall term and September 15th for the winter term. If you have questions, we encourage you to reach out. To get in touch, please fill out our contact form using the URL on your screen, osgoodepd.ca/LLM-info. Using this form ensures that we have all the information we need to fully answer your inquiry and that it reaches the right member of our team. The form also allows you to include a copy of your resume or CV, which we encourage you to do if you have questions around program fit or program selection. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this session. We hope you found it helpful.